morning shine, shine, shine. Las Vegas, shine your light on me.
Welcome to Las Vegas Tonight with your award-winning host, Dale Davidson. Dale interviews fascinating guests from top-ranked celebrities to people just like you who have an important story to tell. For more than 15 years, Dale is broadcast every week from the fabulous Las Vegas Strip. He finds the people who really make Las Vegas a one-of-a-kind city and lets the world know just what's happening in this remarkable town. You'll discover why 50 million people visit the entertainment capital of the world every year. Stay tuned for another exciting episode of Las Vegas Tonight.
Welcome to Las Vegas Tonight. I'm your host, Dale Davidson. We are all dressed up, and my guest is beautiful and all blinged up to the max. Her name's Aretha Harden. You're really going to be glad you're getting a chance to meet her. She's a spectacular singer and a wonderful woman of God. Aretha, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
So, you've been singing. We just got done with a wonderful concert of yours, and here we are, all dressed up. And these flowers are for you.
Thank you. You know I love flowers.
Yes, I know.
And my favorite color is yellow.
Is it really?
Yes,
Wow.
it is. So
I hit a home
you
run.
did well. You did well.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Let's start with the present and then work our way back.
Okay.
You're doing a lot of singing here in Las Vegas. How long you been in Vegas now?
Oh, I'm native. I'm born and raised.
You're
yes.
the one.
I'm the one. It's only 7 of us, but I'm the one.
It's very rare, very rare.
Yeah.
So what was Vegas like when you were growing up here?
Actually, Vegas was really good. It was really good for me. So,
Yeah. And did you decide when you were a little girl that you were going to be a famous singer like you are now?
Well, I didn't find that out till I was about 7.
7. And where did you sing first?
Oh, in church, where
At church?
Everybody got their start.
Yeah, I can think of another Aretha who got started in that church as well. And
yes.
by the way,
Yes.
I think you are just as good as she ever was.
Thank you
Oh,
so
she
much.
can belt out a song. We're going to prevail upon her later. So it was fun growing up. Tell me about your family.
Oh, well, I had 2 brothers, 2 sisters.
Okay. Where'd you fall?
Oh, I was the baby.
The baby.
I was most
the
definitely
babies
the baby.
always end up in show business.
I was number 5.
It's look at me, look at me. Okay, that's great. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
And mom and dad?
Well, mostly everybody is gone now after the pandemic.
Oh,
so it's just
sorry.
me and my brother Kenny.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear.
Hey, they are where we need to be.
Yes.
So I'm good.
So you grew up in the church?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What was that like when you were a little girl?
My pastor at that time was Reverend Thompson.
Oh, okay.
And then it went to Pastor Fowler.
Right.
And they both went on to be with the Lord. And
Yeah, I knew Pastor Fowler.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's
yeah.
a great guy.
Oh, yeah, he was a wonderful man. Yeah, I've been to his church a number of times, and there's some serious music going on.
Oh, yes, that music
Always.
department is lit.
Do you ever sing in church anymore? I know you sing a lot of gospel.
Actually, I go to different churches
you do?
as they need me on Sundays.
Yeah.
So I just think that's better not to be just stuck in one thing.
Yeah.
And be able to help smaller churches coming up to go in and do praise and worship for them. And
what a blessing you are to do that.
Yeah.
Particularly since you are so very well known, and you've had a recording contract, you've done all kinds of stuff. Tell us the story about turning Sony down. Is that a true story?
That's a very true story.
Please tell it. I heard somebody told me about this.
Yeah, it was. I was offered to do like all these songs, and they offered me like $2 million. But I think it was their side contractor people, and they wanted me to go in with like no rights, no anything.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was basically homeless.
Wow.
And they said, "Oh, this could change your life." I said, "For no amount of money will I do it."
Yeah.
And I was at my producer's house at the time. What is this? Because he passed away also, and we were doing the God's Permission album, the first one.
First gospel
And so
album.
we were in the studio, and I just couldn't do it. I said, "Can I see you outside?" And I said, "I'm sorry, but I can't do it. I won't do it." And so I go back in, and Joe Mumford, that's his name. God,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I go back in, and I'm so sorry. I cannot do it. For no amount of money will I do that.
Yeah.
I said, that would take away everything from me. It would take everything away from what we're working on.
Yeah.
And they said, Aretha, that's exactly what we wanted to hear.
Really?
He said, if you would have took the money, we would have known you would have been in it for the money. But I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it
Yeah.
for the souls.
And
God
they-
takes care of me.
And they didn't want you to do gospel, right?
No, they did not. They said that they would think about me doing gospel, but they wanted me to do R&B.
R&B only.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would even be the logic to that? It would increase your audience, but did they feel at some point that that was giving you an image that wasn't good for their label?
Well,
to have a gospel singer on their label? I don't understand.
That I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was like these side contractor people, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I saw basically what they did to someone else, and she went through the $2 million like that, and that was it. It was nothing.
Everybody was taking their piece.
Yeah, everybody like taking care of the family and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
once it was gone, they were gone, and so I could not do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
So the next people at the record company that are going to sign her, please be nice to Aretha. She's a nice person. Yeah.
Well, money don't turn me on, so
That's a
that's
good thing.
not a drawing point for me.
That's a good thing.
So.
You know, during the first concert I saw you in, and that's the one that Carl Magno and
Oh yeah,
and
that was amazing.
yeah,
That was
and
good.
some other people produced, and that was live and
Yes.
all around the world, and it was an awesome concert.
Thank you.
You had time a little bit to tell your testimony, and you told a harrowing story about Nigeria.
Oh yeah.
Can you share that with our audience? Because
Yes.
it's really remarkable how you got out of that
Yeah.
and how you kept your faith.
With that, I was invited to do a song called "Mighty God" with a Nigerian artist named Femi Micah.
Okay.
Very good guy. IODG Oliphant was the drummer, and Wale Oni was the producer.
Oh, yeah. He's your manager now.
Yes, he's my
Okay,
manager
yeah.
now. And so when I got there, there were certain people supposed to pick me up, but I had met several people while I was, Facebook came up, and so
Yeah.
one of the guys that I thought I knew
Right.
came to pick me up, but then he was like, "Oh, I want you to go meet my mom," and I was like, "Oh, okay." He said, "It's just around the corner," and I'm in a new country. I'm not
You don't know
thinking.
where around the corner is.
7 hours later, I'm in Benin.
Oh, no.
So that wasn't good. So I get there and I'm like, okay, God, how do I do this? Because, a lot of times if you basically are a woman, you really don't have a right.
Yes.
It's like you really don't have a voice.
Yes.
So if I would have said, I need to go back and, call the police, they would have believed him over me.
Yeah.
So throughout some days, I was there 14 days, and he took me to a car wash. And he was like, "Oh, you want something to eat? You want this?" And I'm like, "No, I don't really want
You
anything
knew
to
something
eat."
was up
I
at
knew
this
something
point.
was up because the cars were coming up. It was Bentleys, it was Ferraris, it was Hummers, it was Mercedes. Everything was coming up, and every time he would go to the car, he would just come back. And I'm like, "What is going on?" So after a while, we're there all day long. So we leave, and he says, "I'm going to keep you for myself because the number keeps rising." So the number went up to $500 and something million.
They were selling you.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And so he saw the value in me.
So he
And
was.
so he was going to keep me for himself. And so I was like, oh my God. And so I said, "Lord, I need your protection." And I went back to the hotel room, and I'm laying on the bed, and I just put my Bose headset on just to block out all sound.
Yeah.
And I just started singing, "God's protection, your protection, it will never lose its power." So when I kept singing that,
Yes.
he came over me and he stood over me. He said, "Is that for me?" And the Lord says, "Tell him it's for him." And I said, "It's for you. If you take me back to Lagos and allow me to record this song, I'll dedicate it to you." the very next morning we left and went back to Lagos because they were searching for me. My family was searching for me, but he had told them that I was underground and they would not release me until they got 20,000 American dollars, which is about $2.5 million in Naira.
Oh, right. Nigerian money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you were kidnapped right from go.
Yeah.
Wow.
From go.
Wow. So when you went back to do this song, you had to be rattled. Were you scared, or did you feel the Lord was with you?
I knew I was going to make it home.
Did you?
But I didn't know at the cost of a song that's what have turned, because, you know, they're about clout. It's about what they can get.
Yeah, for
and
anything.
So it's like, and it's not all of them. It's just the scammers. It's not all of them. They're really, really good people.
Yeah.
But there are some scammers in every race, in every country. That you have somebody who's just not good.
Yeah, sure.
So when I made it back, Femi Micah, IODG Oliphant, and this other guy named Michael, his last name is Michael, I can't remember his first name. And they came and I threw my shoes over the second floor and I ran downstairs. And he was like, I'm gonna kill you. And I was like, no, you won't be killing me. We on my ground now. We're good. So they literally take him out.
This was the guy who kidnapped you?
Yeah, they took him out. And whatever they were saying in their, whatever language they were speaking, he came back and he was like this. Shaking.
Yeah.
And he said, he won't touch you. And I'm like, are you serious? He was like, you have to stay one more day. And I'm like, are you serious? I need you to get me out of here. He's like, don't worry. He's not going to touch you.
Wow.
So I'm like,
they threatened him.
Oh.
Big time.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, in Nigeria, they do civil, like the citizens can deal with a scammer, a murderer, a rapist.
Oh, really?
They kill them themselves.
Oh my gosh.
So a lot of times they take them to the ocean side, on the side of the mountain, shoot them, and drop them in the ocean.
Oh my.
That's how they deal with them.
Wow.
So he knows it was coming.
Yeah.
So the next morning, I get up and he was like, I'm so sorry. I said, don't even apologize. Don't even worry about it. I said, let's just go. We're going to go and record the song. I told you we were going to record. So we get in the car, they take him, and we go to Wale's studio.
Oh, okay.
And I walk in, to my surprise, it's a whole TV, like TV set like this.
Like this. Oh, okay.
And they said, would you rather do the song or you want to do an interview? And I said, I'll do the song. That's why I find my peace. So I learned their song in their language.
Really?
In about 3 takes.
Wow.
And I go in and I kill the song.
Oh, wow.
So we get through and we do an interview. And after the interview, they leave and they say, we'll be back in 3 minutes. They come back and Femi Micah comes in and he picks him up. And he said, now you're going to know who Femi Micah is. And they opened the door and it was 30 Nigerians in the hallway waiting on him.
Wow.
And they dealt with him.
Wow. Wow. Well, congratulations for getting through that.
Oh, yeah.
That is an astonishing story. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's the most harrowing thing that's ever happened to you.
My
it has
God.
to be.
Yeah. Movie.
Yeah.
For real.
Sure
movie.
Sounds like a movie. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then you came right back to Las Vegas at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got back, and my sister Stephanie, she took my passport and she ripped it in half. You'll never go anywhere else.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
She ripped it in half.
That's sweet. Let's talk about the beginning of your musical career, if we can. And
okay.
And what I sort of want to communicate to people is what's involved, you know, especially young people that are thinking that they want to be singers or they want to be musicians. Yeah. They want to get into the industry the way you have, how you went about it. Tell us when your talent really was recognized.
Actually, it was recognized during church, but my brother Eric actually brought me into the business.
Oh,
and so he was like my first manager and producer. And my first album was actually Faith, and it was Faith, for Always Truth and Honesty.
Oh, okay.
And we had about 13 songs on there.
Oh, okay.
And it did very, very well.
Did it?
It did very well for about 9 years.
Wow.
And it did very well. And then it was time for me. I went into Las Vegas Mass Choir. We started Las Vegas Mass Choir with James Smith.
Oh, sure.
And I was with them for a number of years as a founding member.
Wow.
And I recorded a song on that album called New Life.
Oh, okay.
And then after that, then it was time, God told me it was time for me to start writing.
Wow. We want to talk about that in just a second. Yeah. Aretha, we need to take a brief break.
Yes.
We're going to be back with Aretha Harden in just a couple of minutes. She has a fascinating life story, as you can tell already. And we're going to come back with a new segment right after this. Welcome back to Las Vegas Tonight. If you missed that first segment, shame on you. Rewind and watch it, because it was really a fascinating life story about Aretha Harden, who's my very special guest. She recently just did a concert, and here we are all dressed up like we know what we're doing. And it's just nice to be dressed up, isn't it? You know, Vegas used to be that way. When you were a girl, I bet you they were more dressed up going down the strip. Yeah. When a new show opened here, and I want to say it was Chicago. You remember the show Chicago?
Yes, I remember that.
My wife and I were in the casino. I don't remember which one now. It might have been Planet Hollywood. It was one of them. And I was dressed like this, and she was in a long white gown. And two funny things happened that night. It was at the Paris. That's where it was. Some fairly drunken person came up and said, "Congratulations." And I said, "What was that about?" And
thought you were married.
Yeah, he said, "They thought you just got married," which was not too far off, because we had just gotten married a year before. But aside from that, we saw, Chicago's going to be in here, you know, and they hadn't started yet. You know, they were still in rehearsals and all of that, and so we were both standing there, you know, and nobody's going to let you in to watch. And somebody said, "Would you like to come in and see?"
Oh, wow.
And I said, "Wow, sure." So we walked in and we watched a little bit of the rehearsal before we went off to dinner. And as we were walking out, I said, "Why do you suppose they let us in?" And they said, "It's the way you were dressed."
Yeah. You had the right attire on.
Yeah, and they like that.
Give you a special gift.
You know, people who work in Vegas, and you know many of them backstage because you're on stage all the time.
Right.
They like it when you're dressed up and when you're polite and when people have manners, and it's unfortunately not like that in many instances.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have to come with your, well, fanny packs are de rigueur, you know. You got,
right.
You gotta wear those.
I brought one today.
So anyway, let's go back to what I sort of promoted we would talk about, and that's the industry itself.
Yes.
First of all, I think you're going to agree that it's a ruthless industry.
Oh, yeah.
Even on the Christian side, you were
even
saying.
worse than secular.
Really, really. Why is that? Why do you think? Is it all about the money?
I believe that they base it on the same thing as secular. They have the same morals. They have the same outcome. But it's just as much sex. It's just as much drugs. It's just as much, as you would say, homosexuality. It's just as much. It's just as anything else.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's sad. That's truly sad.
It is.
And then, you know, to present yourself as being a Christian is really a terrible, terrible thing.
Yeah.
But I know you're a shining light there.
Hey, I refuse to sign any dotted line. Any door opens for me, God did it, nobody else.
Yeah, I understand that. When you were first getting started in the industry, were there a lot of closed doors? And if so, how did you get them opened?
Actually, my brother opened a lot of doors because of the context that he had. He played football for the New England Patriots.
Oh, okay.
And so he had a lot of contacts. So that kind of helped.
Yeah.
When we got to start doing with Las Vegas Mass,
the Mass Choir.
The Mass Choir, then that was a whole plethora of people that was in the industry. So we were able to travel and do like the Bobby Jones show. We were able to do some things that was in South Carolina. Just a lot of different things. We did the Jerry Lewis telethons. We did all kind of stuff, and that was really, really fun to work with different artists. And one of my favorites, which is Yolanda Adams.
Oh yeah,
and
she is huge too. She's a star. Yeah, and she can sing.
Yes.
You can sing as well as she can.
I try. I try my best. But she is most definitely my idol.
Oh yeah. And then how many people were in the Las Vegas Mass Choir?
I believe it was 30.
30 people. Mm-hmm. That's a lot to travel on a bus.
Mm-hmm. But you know, it was like traveling with family because we were all friends. We all grew up together.
Oh, really?
So it was they got the best of the best of singers that was in gospel in Vegas.
Wow.
And James Smith handpicked every one of us.
Wow.
So all we did was say yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's spectacular. Mm-hmm. You know, and they did all kinds of music. You know, we were talking during the break about you doing several things over at the House of Blues, Gospel Brunch, and Las Vegas Mass Choir was there, and that's a lot of people on a stage, and they did call and response. But they did all different kinds of music.
Yes.
Which I was really pleased to see the variety, and everybody in that audience loved it. Mm-hmm. I mean, they just came and they were clapping and whooping and hollering, and boy, I'm glad they're still at it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pat Pennington is keeping it alive. She was keeping it alive.
Are they going to bring you in and have you sing lead?
I did 3 years under her.
Oh, did you?
So yeah, I like to travel out.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you make a lot more money that way.
Yes, yeah. Let's talk about the business aspects of this. I know you've been doing a lot of backup singing for big names.
Yeah.
There's good money in that, huh?
Yes, it is.
Tell us how you got into that.
It's Vegas is all on who you know.
Yeah.
So Michelle Johnson, who was a jazz singer.
Yes.
She became friends with Angie Fisher, who was a background singer and very good friend of Michael Bublé.
Oh, okay.
They needed a choir, and they were going to bring singers from California.
Because they didn't know anybody here.
They didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
And so Michelle said, I got plenty of friends, you know. So she always does gospel, she always does choirs for different shows, like corporate shows.
Corporate events.
Corporate events. And they always ask for a choir.
Oh, yeah.
And Michelle normally is the person that get those gigs.
Oh, okay.
And that's how we got Michael Bublé. She just friended Angela at the right time.
Oh, wow.
And we did not let her down.
Yeah, you knocked it out of the park, I heard. Yeah. Was Michael Bublé a good guy?
He
did
was
you like
excellent.
working with him?
Oh my God, he was so friendly. He's so humble, and he was just a regular person. He had no diva exalt at all about him. Nothing. Very sweet.
It seems like the bigger they are, the better they are that way. Mm-hmm. You know, there are exceptions, and we hear about them.
Yeah.
You know, but I've heard nice stories about people, you know, big names who are, you know, at the Caesar's Coliseum or whatever, and they're just like regular folks.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that's what we want to see.
That's the best.
You know?
That's the best part.
And they don't have issues, you know, when it comes to feeling inferior, and so they need to take it out on people.
Right.
Which there's some of that goes on.
Yes.
So, would you, you know, warn off, you know, a niece or, you know, a friend's little girl from going your route because of the difficulties of being a professional singer in Las Vegas?
Well, I would push them to always remain independent.
Okay.
Because you can do for yourself the same thing that the big name studios are doing now, because everybody in the world has a studio in their home now.
Yeah, that's right.
And they don't need that. You can learn how to do your own distribution. You can make a negotiation with a distribution, even with Sony or whoever. You can still get those same things, but being independent.
You bring them the
not
master.
Stuck,
Yeah.
And not stuck to a contract.
Yeah.
That's what you don't want to do, because you become the slave.
Yeah. Well, talk about the money's to be made in writing songs, especially.
Yeah, in production and writing, yeah.
And writing.
You're not really when you're the artist and it's not your music, that's when you become the slave.
Yeah.
But if you're the artist and the producer, ta-da!
You're the boss. Yeah, you're in control.
But I do. I'm very open to making the music the best that we can make it. So, who's ever the producer or the manager of it, I trust their idea.
Yeah.
I think
you're open to
it. I'm very open to it.
Yeah.
If it's some things that I'm just not going to do, I just don't do.
Yeah. Now the writing, you said you started writing.
Yes.
Tell me about that process. What's it like to write a song? Particularly a gospel song. Do you go into prayer first? Tell us the procedure you go through in order to write a song.
Well, with that, a lot of writers write their life.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
And so you minister better through your struggle, because you have to be able to go through something to able to minister to somebody to get them out of what they're going through.
Yeah, something.
So
similar,
your trial is not for you. Your trial is to help someone else.
Yeah.
So, like I said, every song that I wrote, I had to live. I literally had to live every one of them in order to write them.
Yeah.
So I had, like I said, even in the concert, I said I had the notebook already, and the titles were already on top of each paper.
Each page.
But did not know I had to live that trial as okay, so this is this. This goes to this song. Okay.
Okay.
And so I had to live it in order to write it.
So do you write the lyrics first?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. Well, you go through the trial first.
Yeah.
And then God to just wake you up out of your sleep, and there it is.
Yeah. And then what about the music? Do you write the music as well?
No. I have friends who are musicians.
Okay.
And I'll sing it to them, and they bring it back to me like exactly
what you wanted.
What I wanted.
Wow. Now, when you go about selling your copyrights, which I know some artists don't. Oh, you don't do it?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Because I had heard about people who do that, sometimes for very big money in foreign countries, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I just wondered whether that's a source of income as people go into the music business, and you have eventually you're going to have a huge portfolio of work, and like Michael Jackson was $1 billion for his catalog, and the Beatles and the people like that, the huge ones. But that's a source ultimately for income, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Do you think about that when you're writing songs?
It has to be the right person.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people who wanted to re-record God's Permission.
Oh, okay.
And it's not. They didn't have to go through that. I had to go through that.
Yeah. So it's your song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your album.
So, yeah.
So when young people are getting into this industry, what can they expect? Do you audition initially when you're trying to get a singing gig, or do people scout you, or how does a young singer get noticed? Well,
a lot of times just by word of mouth.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They're just like, I know who can do this, and they'll, Aretha can do this, or they'll give out names, and then if they need to get a group, and it's like, okay, we need 4 people. Who do we need an alto? Who do we need a soprano?
Yeah.
Oh, Aretha can do that, or it's all in who you know.
Oh yeah.
It's really all in who you know.
Yeah, yeah. And so, does your manager?
Well, he's new. He's newly.
Oh, he's
my
new.
Manager.
Okay.
I've been doing it for a long time, and Robin Roberts was there from the very beginning for me.
Wow. Yeah.
So she helped me with all my copyrights and everything.
Oh yeah.
It's not the Robin Roberts on the news. It's my girl Robin Roberts.
Yeah, she helped you a lot.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
She did a lot of the legal paperwork for me and everything.
Yeah, you need that. Somebody's got to be watching out for you, don't they? Have you written for other media? Has anybody come to you and said, I need a song for a television show, or I need a song for a movie, or I need a song for a play? Has that happened to you yet?
Yeah, I had someone that needed a song for a play, but they wrote the song, but I needed to sing the song.
Oh, okay.
And then another lady, she was doing it for a movie, and she wrote it, but I brought it to life by singing it.
Oh, okay.
So Ken Young, and he'll probably kill me for this, but he's retired now. He just retired today.
Wow! Congratulations on that, Ken.
Yeah, but he was the captain over the school police.
Oh, okay.
So he does anything that happens in the schools. That's the face that you see.
Oh, okay.
He actually got me started doing jingles.
Oh, is that right?
Commercials.
Okay.
And we actually did the theme song for the Luxor.
Oh, the Luxor. Okay, that's nice.
We did that.
Nice song.
We did things for Nissan. We did things for Honda.
Oh,
we did,
okay.
We did for those, and we did new releases. We just did the new releases for Range Rover.
Oh, okay.
Show for that.
Classy.
So
there's money to be made in commercials, kids.
It sure is. Jingles is where it's at. They pay good money.
That's right.
So.
We need to make a little money commercially. We're going to be back with Aretha Harden in just a minute. Stick around.
If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, seek my face and turn from thy wicked ways, I hear from heaven and heal the land. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, seek my face, turn from your wicked ways, I'll hear from heaven and heal your land. healed our land.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Tonight. We're with the famous, spectacularly talented Aretha Harden. Live up to that. Who is comedic, by the way. You should be here during the breaks. This is when we really get entertaining and we don't lay it down on tape. We just laugh. But it's really been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you. It's been a pure honor.
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I promised them you would sing a few bars. A cappella, which is not nothing. Please do that. So now we know how she warms up. So knock it out of the park, Aretha. Whatever you'd like to sing, just a few bars as long as you want to sing.
I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. You've been better to me than I've been to myself. I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. You've been better to me than I've been to myself. I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord. You've been better to me than I've been to myself. I love you, Lord. I praise your name. I praise your name. You've been better to me than I've been to myself. I praise your name. I love your name. I love your name. You've been better to me than I've been to myself. You've been better to me than I've been to myself. You've been greater to me than I've been to myself. I love you, Lord. Oh, I love you, Lord. I love you, Lord.
Wow. 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 I'm in awe. I really am. You got pipes.
Thank you. A little raspy today, but okay.
No, that was perfect. That was way past perfect.
Thank you.
So, how can people listen to your music and buy your music? Let's make sure they know how to do that before we finish it. Do a little business.
You can reach me on all social medias. That's everything. That's Spotify. That's iTunes. That's CD Baby. That's Rhapsody. You name it.
You're on
it's
it
there.
all.
I'm on it all.
Oh, okay. And YouTube?
Yes, YouTube.
Some of your live performances and things like that?
Live performances, interviews.
And it's under your name?
Yes.
Aretha Harden?
Everything. I don't do like stage names. It's just me.
Okay. Speaking of which, I'll get a plug in myself for our website, which is vegassaints.org. And we also have a donate button. Please donate so we can continue to have these wonderful shows and bring Aretha Harden back again. How's that?
Yes.
Any amount helps. So God bless you all for that. Business is a big part of it, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You know, I heard a manager tell me once, Yeah, talent's great, but that's half the job.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, the rest is the marketing of it.
Yes.
And you got to get out and see people and talk to people and be known. And you do meet and greets after your shows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that at the one concert. You were taking pictures with people outside, and it looked like you were having a ball.
Always.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people enjoy that and feel like a local, connection to a star. And you're getting bigger and bigger. You know, you're going to be a huge name.
God. All
I
praise.
expect to see your picture on one of these fancy billboards here soon.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
A residency would be nice.
With the manager I have now, it's bound to happen, and soon.
Yeah, that's really important. What does a manager do typically?
Well,
for
he's
people
everything.
who don't know, yeah,
he's everything. So, because he's an artist himself.
Oh yes, yeah,
and
you told me that.
Yeah, he's an artist himself,
with him,
but he's also a wonderful producer.
Yeah,
very easy. We get along perfect in studio.
So he's producing your albums as well as managing your career.
Yeah, we're working on a new Christmas album.
Ooh,
and that's gonna be coming out in a few days.
Oh, is that right? Oh, great, great.
Yes.
Tell us some of the songs.
Well, it's my favorite one, and it's Chestnuts.
Chestnuts roasting on an
oh,
open
that's
fire.
my favorite song. I don't do like the Santa Claus stuff, but I most love the spirit of Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Will you give us just a little bit of it?
Oh, Lord.
I'm really putting her to work, aren't I?
Right, just a little bit.
Just a little.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows that a turkey and some mistletoe will make the season bright. And that's enough, because I had to read the words.
You got it.
I had to read the words.
Yeah, you hit it out of the park. That was so sweet. That was such a sweet
we
song.
jazz it up a little bit.
Do you a bit?
Yeah,
yeah.
we jazz it up.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
Yeah. Do you sing with the musicians, or do they lay down tracks and then you sing to the tracks in the
I
studio?
lay down the track, and then they build the music around it, and then I go back in and really lay it.
Oh, you do?
Just, you just do a format track.
Oh, so they can play to you. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. That's how it works. Yeah. All right. And then how many pieces in this album? How many musicians?
Oh, my goodness.
He's bringing everybody in.
Everybody.
The kitchen
from
sink's coming in.
Full orchestra. To,
wow.
Your regular bass, organ, keys, drums, guitar, Yeah. But he's ridiculous.
That's great, though. That's great.
But he's so excited about it, and I'm glad about it too.
Oh yeah, and he's got to be really happy to have you part of his company, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were up to 5 o'clock this morning listening just over and over and over.
Oh really?
That's why I'm so tired.
Oh, you are not acting like you're tired. Yeah. That's Vegas hours.
Oh yes,
it
is.
You got to do that, and people don't understand how hard show business is.
It is.
It's a lot of work, isn't it?
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It is a lot of long hours.
Yeah, and if you're a perfectionist, which I get the idea you are,
a little bit.
it's not a bad word.
Not too much.
It's a lot of takes.
Yeah.
That's. I really admire that in musicians and artists of all kinds. They're not satisfied till it's perfect.
Yeah.
In their view, this is the best I can do this.
I'm a little different. Each producer that I've ever had, even with Tom Schumann from Spiral Gyra.
Oh yeah.
He did God's Permission Reloaded.
Oh really?
He did that whole album over.
Oh really?
And I've always learned to kill it at the first one.
Yeah, give it all you got.
And if I have to go in and retouch something, then
then you do it.
But I don't like being in the studio no longer than about 45 minutes.
Yeah. You and Sinatra was the same way. And they said he did all his rehearsal at home. Mm-hmm. He didn't come into the studio at $300 an hour or whatever it is. Yeah, he'd come ready and beld it out.
Yeah.
Although I heard a nice story about him from somebody here locally in town who used to work with him. He was always quick, like you're talking about, unless they were getting close to golden time for the musicians. You know, so if it's going into overtime for the musicians, he'd blow a couple takes on purpose. So they get a better paycheck.
I could say that, you know, the musical that I'm working on right now, it's going to be November 18th.
Oh, okay.
And
that's when it drops?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to, it's actually, you know, you can come to it.
Oh, okay.
But it's, when I do my rehearsals, I only rehearse 1 hour.
Oh, okay.
But we're working that whole 1 hour.
Yeah. A little bit of each song.
No, we running the whole thing.
Oh, you do the whole show?
Yeah. I just teach really, really fast. And I tell them, I say, I'm very strict, but we need to get it done in 1 hour, start on time, end on time.
Right.
And they were like, oh my God, you know, they didn't think that could happen, but a lot of people who have 2 and 3 hour rehearsals, no, not me.
Yeah, it takes it all out of you anyway.
Yes.
And then your show is not as great.
Yeah, time for me, I respect people's time, and I want people to respect mine. I don't want to be in your rehearsal 3 hours.
Yeah.
Give me about an hour and a half, I'm good.
Yeah.
But after 2-3 hours,
yeah.
I'm gone.
Good. That's good to know.
See you show day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Aretha, I asked you during the break if you would grace us with a few words. That's your camera right there. Would you mind addressing the camera and telling people who are watching this show and really don't know Jesus Christ what it's like to live with Christ and why it's a good idea?
Okay. So let's see. My experience is that he's always been there for me. But there's always a drop-off point where you kind of walk away because you think that you're not important, but God will make sure that you know that you're important to him. He created you for a specific reason. And it's time for you to horn in on what that is. Everything is important. If you're a janitor, it's important. If you're a maid, it's important. If you're a minister, it's important. If you're a mother, it's important. If it's a father, it's important. So never think that you're less than. Never think that it doesn't matter. Everything about you, every breath matters. So just know that God is there for you. And all you have to do is just ask him, Lord, enter into my life and change it and order my steps daily. Order my thoughts daily. And know that you are important to him because he gave you life, he gave you air. So just know that you're here for a purpose.
Wow, I'm so glad that you've come on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, you are really. It's really been an honor.
Thank you.
And we both got dressed up, and you look much better than I do. I don't know why that is. It's that bling. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Aretha Harden, please come back.
I will.
When the next album drops, come and we'll hold it up and everything.
Oh, yes.
Thank you all so much for watching the show. As I try to remember to say each and every episode of Las Vegas Tonight, when it comes to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, please walk with him. God bless you.
If sin begins with self-obsession, I've been the worst. Believed the curse, searched for worth, and found nothing in heaven, on earth, or in between. No man-made schemes or pure righteous plea could free me from myself. But I remember the day when I came colliding with the cross. I saw Jesus stumble to Golgotha on that pathway filled with pain, slain on blood-stained tree. The power of his death has invited me into my own. Resurrection has overthrown. The grave's claims, "It is finished," is the good news in every age echoing on the airways. Jesus Christ was crucified, that the worst of us might taste life.
Alpha and Omega. You have no beginning, you have no end. Before the foundation of the world, you chose me, adopted as your child through your Son, Jesus Christ. I deserved death, yet you showed me grace. I deserve your wrath, yet you demonstrate love. My God, this whole world may fail, but you remain the same. The love of an everlasting God is my firm foundation. Whom shall I fear? Everything here on earth will fade away, but your promises will never. The love of an everlasting God is my hope. No one can take it away. I am yours, my Lord. You chose me, my everlasting God.
Come on and shine, shine, shine. Las Vegas, shine your light on me.
You've been watching Las Vegas Tonight with your host, Dale Davidson. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of our show. We so appreciate your loyalty to our program. To keep Las Vegas Tonight on the air, please go to our website, vegassaints.org, and click the Donate button. To send a check or money order, please make it out to Dale Wynn Davidson Ministries and mail it to 9030 West Sahara Avenue, Suite 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. To suggest a guest to appear on the show or any other suggestions or questions, write to Dale at dalewdavidson@yahoo.com or call him at 702-480-3989.
Shine, Las Vegas.